congratulations, man. Welcome to liberty. You know?
Yeah.
Why can't people just say, hey, congratulations, you're living a happier, more full life now? Why can't you just do that to me? Instead, you got to try to beat me up in the street. You got to laugh at me. You got to point at me, saying you're a dude wearing a dress. You look ugly. You're the ugliest thing I've ever seen. You should kill yourself. Why are you doing that? That's people don't do that. You're a man or a woman. You were born a man. You can't be a woman now. Who is it to you to judge that? You've never lived underwater. Well, God says your God defined something based on 2,000-year-old book that you can't wear cotton fibers with wool fibers, or I should stone you right now. It's ridiculous how they judge me. It's based on stuff that doesn't even make any sense now. There are so many things that you can cut out of Leviticus that would make our way of life in modern times impossible. By what you eat, by what you wear, by what you say, by what you do, by all of it, you couldn't live a life in modern society based on Leviticus 2,000-year-old scriptures. Well, no, well, that's not really what God meant. Well, then how can you cherry pick and tell me what God meant? Or are you God? Do you really know what was going on? Are you the creator? Well, who are you to judge?
What type of people give you that sort of feedback? Do you get that sort of
I
feedback
get
with
it.
fellow
I was
veterans?
told I was told I should kill myself just a week ago based on something. I had a veteran write a whole bunch of stuff on a Twitter post I have, like all kinds of stuff. And I was like, all right, dude, well, you have no idea what you're talking about. Well, you don't know me. Oh, I know you. I was in your platoon. You said that and that. And I said, dude, you don't. I was covering up and I was underwater just trying to be normal in your eyes. I said, yeah, I probably said a lot of stupid stuff because I was just trying to cover up and survive in your world. I said, I'm
Right.
finally comfortable now and you're going to give me crap?
Right.
My Twitter handle, my Facebook handle, my Instagram handle, my Gmail, everything is the same. Valor for us, Valor for US,
The number 4?
VA, the number four, VALOR for US is
Didn't you tweet
my
it? Didn't you
all
tweet at
social
Trump?
media. That's my social media. I get
Did
death threats. I get hate mail. I get all kinds of stuff. I've been beaten up 2 months ago. I got freaking attacked 2 months ago in a bar. 3 months? No, it's 3 months ago now. Before the isolation from COVID, I had someone attack me in a bar where they tried to beat me up.
did they know who you were?
No, they just saw dude in a dress. You're ugly. You shouldn't even be living. And I was going, dude, just leave me alone, man. And then then they started attacking me, and yeah, they were on the floor pretty quickly.
Yeah, I would imagine if they knew who you were, they wouldn't have fucked with you.
No, but it just doesn't make sense. Why don't you let me alone? Why don't you leave me alone? It's
Yeah, it's sad. It really is sad.
people are mean, man. People are mean.
Speaking of Twitter, didn't you respond to Donald Trump when he tweeted something about transgender people should not be in the military? Or did
So
he delete
so
that?
President Trump tweeted out that transgender people should not be in the military in any capacity and wants to get rid of us. That's about 15,000 people in uniform today in uniform. So
Are
he basically
transgender?
wanted to are transgender. So basically he wanted to kick out 15,000 people who nobody would even know, or some of them know, but they're doing a great job. And the problem was when he tweeted that, the Army was undermanned by like 28%. The Marine Corps was undermanned by like 15%. The Air Force was like 5%. I think they were doing pretty good. But the recruitment numbers to go to boot camp and join the military were all significantly undermanned. So for us, the capability to fight a war on two fronts, if you had a European war and something going on in Asia or anything going on, we can't do it because we are so undermanned because nobody wants to join because it's a shit place to go.
Yeah.
And you want to kick out an additional 15,000 people who are right now serving, doing a good job because of your prejudices? Doesn't make any sense. So that's why I told him, I said, hey, look, I served 20 years. I did a good job. I served with honor. You never knew and it didn't matter to you, and who cares? You're going to kick me out? Well, that's bullshit. Let's talk face to face. Let's talk about this.
Did you get any response?
No.
No.
But about 6 or 7 months later, I met him face to face, shook his hand, and I talked to him. And I said, sir, served my country for 20 years. I did a good job. There's a lot of people just like me that want to serve, and we want to serve with honor. And he said to me, as he was shaking my hand, thank you for your service, Chief. How'd he know I was Chief?
He knew who you were?
Yeah. They don't know who I am.
How did that make you feel?
Well, he just said, "Thank you for your service, Chief." And I said,
Mm,
"You're welcome, sir. Just a lot of us want to join. And I'm not going to stop serving." I serve to this day. I serve in a different capacity. I serve by speaking to you,
yeah.
maybe dropping a couple of nuggets of truth and having some people think a little bit.
Yeah.
Have your mental toughness, your intellectual toughness, your spiritual toughness. Tell you what, being a Muslim in America right now, you got to be spiritually tough. But nobody cares about that toughness. They only care how many push-ups you can do. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, did 1,000 push-ups. Who cares, man? I know a guy who's a Sikh, like a Sikh elder. The guy's amazing. You know who the Sikhs are? They're they're like religious, like spiritual leaders, man. They're tough. And he's a good friend of mine. So I don't care how many push-ups you can do at 3 o'clock in the morning. I care about my really good Sikh, Ahmad.
Mm-hmm.
And I know another one, Amin Pushin, he was a SEAL, and he's freaking mentally tough. He's way tougher than doing 1,000 push-ups at 3 a.m. All the above. I have a really good Muslim friend. He was a Marine Corps. And that guy is mentally tough. Way tougher than 1,000 push-ups at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care how many push-ups you can do at 3 o'clock in the morning. Why don't you try being a Muslim Marine for a day? That guy's way tougher than you. So spiritual toughness, mental toughness, intellectual toughness, freaking toughness. Not what you do. You wake up in the morning and do push-ups. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's weak. That's the weakest person I ever said. Because if all you can do is do 1,000 push-ups at 3 o'clock in the morning, then you yell and thump your chest about it. I did 1,000 push-ups at 3 a.m. Dude, that's one of the weakest people I've ever met. Because you got to yell about it. You got to tell everybody in the whole world how many push-ups you did. I don't care. Do 1,000 push-ups and don't tell anybody about it. That's tough. I don't care if you yelling. I don't care if you woke up at 3 a.m. Wake up at 3 a.m. and do whatever you got to do. Why do you got to tell anybody about it? The weakest person is the one that does stuff and yells and screams and thumps their chest. They brag about it. At every turn, they brag. Those are the weakest people. The toughest people that do all the stuff and nobody ever knew they did it.
Right.
I give somebody, a homeless man, I'll give him a $20 bill. I'm not going to tell anybody or take a picture or do anything, and I'll do that 100 times in a month. Well, shit, I just said it.
Yeah.
I just screwed up.
There's gonna be some people leaving comments saying, "You just told all of us." That's okay.
The thing is, there's so much stuff that happens. Just you don't need to tell anybody about it. Just do it, man. That's toughness. That's real toughness. You know who knows that you did that? You know who knows you did it and who it counts?
It's you.
You. Just you. No one else. Not even the creator. The creator doesn't care if you gave somebody who needed some help.
People try to use bragging and saying they've done great things as acts to prop up something that's not there.
And they can get more followers.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have followers because I try not to say very much stuff about myself. I write a lot of stuff on all my social media when I did something incorrect. I did something without thinking. I did something that was callous or you know, incompassion. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I was like, darn it, I did that wrong. And then I go back and I try to fix it and I try to make it better and I try to do something good where I failed. So every time I fail, I try to do better. I try to do something. Those are the things I post. So I don't have followers because I'm never out there saying, hey, I just did a 23-mile run in an hour and 20 minutes. I just did this or I did that. I woke up at 3 a.m. did 1,000 push-ups. I don't write any of that stuff. I write about stuff where I screwed it up and then I try to do better. So who's going to follow me? If I don't have followers, I'm not going to ever have fame.
I think you do have followers.
I try to defame myself and I try to make it a lesson. I try to give you some help by saying what I did wrong or what I felt bad about this, or I wish I would have done that better. I try to do lessons with everything I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's important though, because you do. I think you do have followers, but talking about the things that you do wrong and the things that you mess up, I think that's important for people to learn that and learn that it's important to fail. It's important to mess up.
Like wearing a sock on my face.
Yeah.
I totally messed up because I went into a store without a face mask, and so I went and I said, "Hey, you gotta take your sock off." Hey, I did that. I didn't wipe myself. I made a mask. But I mean, it's just I just do stuff and I just try to make it, hey, I learned something. And I want you to know how to do this so that maybe you can do it. I learned it from somebody else. And then I made a couple improvements here and there. And they're like, hey, man, my buddy Denny did something with a sock before me. And then I said, hey, but if you do it like this, do it like that. That's something. And then, hey, man, let's. So all knowledge is like borrowed and approved, or done that or done that. And then I give a lot of credit to my friend Denny, at Better Days, who came up with the first idea, and it was like, man, it's a great idea, and I want more people to know about it. And so now, and you can even change it so that you put your chin where the foot is another way to do it.
Oh, where the heel
And
goes?
it'll cup in. So I mean, improve it. Someone out there improve what I did and make it better. Because man, all of life is about improvements. When the cavemen were here and they were, fighting the T-Rexes, they did a lot of stuff. And we've improved on it. Nothing's new.
No.
Everything's been said. You just said it different.
What do you think is the biggest point of pain in fellow veterans like yourself who have been in combat as much as you have? And how do you try to help them with what you've experienced with trying to let out bottled up emotions or bottled up feelings and get them off your shoulder? Like, maybe that's one example, but what do you see is the biggest point of pain or stress within people like yourself who've dealt with what you've dealt with?
Well, let me put it this way. If you go to the Veterans Administration and you see the number of people registered and using the VA hospital and the doctors and prescriptions and all the other stuff, and you look at the total number of veterans in the United States, the percentage of people that use the VA is like 20% of veterans. So the other 80% are like, hell no, I'm not going to the VA. You know why?
Why are they going to the VA?
Why I probably won't go to the VA shortly because I'm angry. Because I went to the VA and I was like, hey man, I'm in a really tough spot right now and I'm having some problems and I just need help. And I think I need help for about 6 months or a year. And I need a caregiver. I need somebody around to help me do some scheduling because I have traumatic brain injury and some other stuff happened and I need some help for a little while. And they have this thing called a caregiver program. Well, they'll actually pay me a little bit of extra money so I can pay a caregiver to come in and work with me for 2 or 3 hours a day to make sure my scheduling is good. I'm on time. I'm taking my medications. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. They're just like, it's like a checkup.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the VA and I asked them, I said, hey man, I'm in a really tough spot right now. And you have this caregiver program that you're going to give me like $400 a month or $800 a month so I could pay somebody could come in like a qualified person that understands scheduling and pharmaceuticals and prescriptions, all the other stuff I'm doing because I'm in a tough spot right now. So I could actually pay them to come in and be with me for an hour or 2 hours every 2 or 3 days or whatever. Come in once a week. I just go through my schedule, go through everything going on and make sure everything's good. Make sure I'm eating healthy. I'm not just eating macaroni and cheese every day for a month straight, which I did. And it caused me to have this really bad cholesterol was off the charts. I was going to McDonald's, eating mac and cheese because I was just in that real bad funk. I was in a bad place. Yeah. So I go to the VA and I go to this place. I had this caregiver program. And I say, hey, I want to apply for this caregiver program. And they asked me all these questions. And man, I'm a SEAL. And I answered the questions like a SEAL would. And I didn't go in there limping, and I have a limp. And I go in there and I just and I tell them, yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I'm doing okay, I guess. And I'm doing that in an amount of time. So I didn't go in there and cry. I didn't go in there limping. I go in there unshowered for a week, which I did go for about a week and a half. I didn't take a shower, because I was in a funk and I couldn't get out. And this is the stuff that happens when you have, PTSD and traumatic brain injury. Stuff doesn't always connect. And so you go for a week and a half without showering. You didn't go out of the house. And you want to be self-isolated? Well, I did that to myself a lot. And so I'm talking to this caregiver program, and they deny me. And I actually went in and I asked them for help.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I was in a funk and I had stuff going on, and I needed some help, and I want to get out of the funk. I want to give me 6 months of this person to come in once a week and help me out. That's what I was asking for. I said, I want somebody for 6 months or a year to come in for 1 or 2 days a week for 2 hours and just check everything out and do that and do that. Make sure I'm not in that funk, that nothing's going on funky, that I'm not doing that or that. And they said, no.